Sybyr is someone who is regarded as a pioneer of trap metal and has solidified himself as a legend in the underground, but he still remains criminally underrated to this day and is someone who in my opinion deserves far more respect. In this video I'm gonna do my best to cover Sybyr's early life, his music career, talking about his switch from Syringe to Sybyr, as well as talking about his shift in sound. In addition, I'll give my takes on why I think he is an incredibly important artist, and I'll end with my opinions on him. Chase MacArthur Coffin was born September 6th in 1996 in Prince George's County, Maryland, and he grew up in a Christian household and would go to church every Sunday. In terms of school, Sybyr has said that he had a really rough time in school and that people wouldn't let him live, and he was somewhat of an outcast. Sybyr originally got into music as he knew he had melodies which he wanted to make, but he didn't know how to actualise them. But after a while, at age 12, he met his cousin Kid Beats, who told him about FL Studio, and from here he started making beats and music. Around this time he was listening to artists like Waka Flocka, Woo the Kid, OJ the Juice Man, Gucci Mane, and a lot of Atlanta trap in general. Sybyr in the early stages of his music career would put out music on YouTube and a website called SoundClick. Going into high school, Sybyr got a few more friends and met Leon's Wolf during this time, but he didn't like high school and would spend his time there waiting to leave so he could make beats. After a while, Sybyr graduated high school, and by this point his parents wanted him to go to college and further pursue education. But at this point he knew what he wanted to do, and after a while of putting out music he had slowly grown a community through YouTube, Facebook and SoundClick. And from here he has pushed out an insane amount of music, and has since solidified himself as a legend in underground rap. Sybyr has gone by a ton of different aliases, but the most notable being Mac17, Syringe and Sybyr. In his career he's put out an immense amount of projects, and has an insanely extensive discography. In 2016, Sybyr also co-founded the collective Anti-World, but originally before this the name was Weird Clan, and the first members of the collective were Sybyr himself, his cousin Kid Beats, Leon's Wolf, Ghosty and Miklo, being the first 4 members, but after a while around 2012 Sybyr started adding more people to the collective. Another interesting thing to note is that Sybyr also produces under the alias Landfill, and has made songs for Craig Zen, City Morgue and Ghostmane. Personally, I found Sybyr around 2016, and by this point there was already a lot of trap metal flooding the underground rap scene, but something about Sybyr stood out to me. Unlike a lot of the others to do it, you could actually hear the rawness and emotion he put into the tracks, and unlike the anger in a lot of other trap metal, Sybyr's didn't feel manufactured. You could tell he was really using music as a means of outletting his negative emotions and energy, and this portrayal of emotion in his songs gained him a hardcore following of people who supported him and his innovation. My favourite and the first project which I found by Syringe was Hell Horse, and I recommend this project to anyone who's never heard him before. After hearing Hell Horse I was hooked, and I got into his music quite heavy, but anyone who's a fan of Sybyr knows that he's without question undergone an insane stylistic shift since when he went by Syringe, with Sybyr now applying a more relaxing sound to what once garnered a lot of people's attention. But there's a big reason for this change, as on June 4th of 2017 Syringe was reported missing by a lot of his friends, and he was last seen inside the Commerce City in Denver. A little over a week later he was found, but during this time he had spent time in a number of behavioural facilities and hospitals after he had spiralled into a bad mental state. In mid-July, Sybyr left the psychiatric ward and decided to change his alias from Syringe to Sybyr, and with this change in alias came a step away from the aggressive sound which fans had grown accustomed to. Sybyr is undoubtedly one of the most innovative artists to have touched the underground rap scene, and he has carved a path which many of us have tried to follow, but never to the same success as Sybyr. He's a pioneer in trap metal, and will definitely be remembered for his impact on the subgenre. To this day, it's insanely sad that a lot of people haven't caught on to him and his ability for creating music. I know Sybyr's experimentation and stylistic shift is quite a polarising topic, but in my opinion it only proves the fact that he's a true artist, and can do well in any sound he experiments with. I know a lot of fans want that gritty and aggressive sound back from when he went by Syringe, and to be honest I love that sound. It's what got me into him in the first place. I've always been into music which gets me amped and angry, but you can't expect someone to stay in one lane forever. Life changes and people change, and Sybyr is no different. He's no longer in the same mind frame he once was, and he's not the same anger-filled guy he once was. That pure aggression is gone, and he has said before that he channels his emotion into music, using it to purge ideas from his head, and it's fair to say there has been a clear correlation between his positive change as a person and his sonical shift, and I fully respect him embracing new things and moving forward, and I think that he is definitely a true artist, and his diversity in sound only attests to that. If you've never listened to Sybyr before, I recommend you check out his projects Hell Horse, Rinjago or Anti-World if you're interested in the aggressive sound I've been talking about, or if you're more interested in his new sound, I recommend listening to Anti-World too. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you have a good day.